Hi! In this video we are going to make gun equip and drop system in Unity. So let's get started. First create a C# script and name it anything you want, then open it. First create a public float variable for drop. Then create a public void commerce for float amount. So float amount is 1 unit, unity is a number representing a single or the only entity. 1 is also a numerical digit and represents a single unit of counting or measurement. After it, use the dash equals operator to subtract the drop from amount. Then we want to use if statement and we want to check if drop value is smaller than 0. If it is true, then it will run. In run we will destroy the game object. Then create another script and name it some things like equip script. Then create a public transform for drop. Then create a public variable for gun. Then create a public variable for camera. Then create a public float for range and by default it will be 2. Then same for open and by default it will be 100. Then in void start we want to set the gun rigid body is kinematic to true. And kinematic controls whether physics affects the rigid body. If kinematic is enabled, forces, collisions or joints will not affect the rigid body anymore. The rigid body will be under full control of animation or script control by changing transform. Then in void update we want to check if player has pressed Q button. If it is true, then it will run unequip object and shoot. Then we want to check if player has pressed E button in, and if it is true it will run equip object. Then we want to create a function for shoot. In void shoot we want to use the same method which we used in grappling hook. Then we want to check if target has not been assigned. If it is true, then it will run equip object. Then in unequip object we will make the child of the gun, and the gun too is not the child of the main camera. This line is hard to understand, so I give you an overview of it. So basically it will allow the object to rotate when we press Q or unequip has been run. Then it will make the gun is kinematic to false. Then in void equip object it will make the gun rigid body is kinematic to true. After it will make the gun transform position to drop transform position. Then it will make the gun as that child of the main camera. Then in Unity we also have to set up some things. First create an empty game object by right-clicking on hierarchy window, then click on empty object and also make it as a child of main camera. Then create a cube and make it as a child of that empty game object. Set it where you like. Then make sure that the position of the cube is same as that empty game object. Then put the detect script into empty game object. And add a rigid body component in that cube and put the equip script into the cube. Then put that empty game object into player transform and put that cube into that cube section and put the main camera into camera section. Then make sure to freeze rotation of rigid body. And you are done. Bloopers. That's it for today's. Thanks for watching.